What's up, guys? Welcome back to King Kraken Sports. Mike here. The other day I posted the offseason outlook in kind of a comedic fashion for the eliminated AFC teams. Today we're going to do the same thing for the eliminated NFC teams. Quick disclaimer, the Vikings and Eagles are not going to appear in this video because as of Boxing Day when I am recording this, they have not been eliminated yet. So, and by the time you see this, they still won't have played. So basically, everyone that's been eliminated other than those two teams because I can't see into the future. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Let's get started. I think we all expected the Cardinals to be bad, but I'm not sure any of us expected them to be this bad. They are unwatchable bad. God, they suck. I mean, they had Sam Bradford start. That says a lot. And then they cut him. And, geez, they're just so bad. And they have no idea what the hell they're doing on offense or really on defense. I mean, Steve Wilkes didn't know how to use Budda Baker or Hassan Reddick or Dejon Buchanan or guys that, should be kind of building blocks for that defense and did nothing with them. Patrick Peterson wanted out, then didn't want out, and will probably be out by the end of the offseason. But if there's a silver lining, it's that the Steves, Kime, and Wilkes are probably gone in about a week's time. Now, Mike McCarthy once has said that there's mutual interest between himself and the Cardinals for that job. It's an upgrade. I'm not sure how much of an upgrade, to be honest. I've never really thought Mike McCarthy was a great coach. But man, how the mighty have fallen. Who would have thought that Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians meant that much to your team? Niners fans, it's not your fault. Your team's actually not as garbage as they appear. They're just really banged up, and especially at the most important position. When Jimmy Jesus got hurt, your season was over. Thankfully, Garoppolo and George Kittle, who came out of nowhere, are the building blocks for your team going forward. Now, if only you could get some actual receivers on that team as well, that would be great. You have some money to spend, and you're going to get a high draft pick. Unfortunately, John Lynch has shown in the past he's fucking terrible at drafting. I've seen this movie before. Despite drafting defensive line and defensive ends the past 3 years, you still need a defensive end because, shocker, Solomon Thomas sucks at football. I told you all this 2 years ago. But not to boost my own ego, you're actually in a good spot. Don't fire Shanahan. Maybe fire the defensive coordinator. Just, couple of pieces, and what do you know? You could be competing for a playoff spot this time next year. I thought the curse of Bobby Lane was supposed to be over. I guess everyone forgot to tell the Lions that. Seriously, what the fuck happened to them? This team was good last year. They were almost a playoff team. Now they're sitting at 5-10 and just flat out garbage. Their defense sucks. They had a running game, abandoned the running game, and somehow still every running back on their roster got hurt. Matt Stafford is a shell of himself. What the hell is going on? He's well below his career averages and is looking like he's going to finish shy of 4,000 yards, which, given that it's Matt Stafford and we're used to him throwing every single play, that's saying something. He was booed off the field the other day. This team is just straight up garbage. They introduced themselves to us this season by getting embarrassed by a rookie quarterback in his first game in the NFL. That quarterback was Sam Darnold and the Jets team that you saw me make fun of yesterday. What is going on with this team? They've reportedly given up on Matt Patricia, then had Kumbaya moment and got back together with Matt Patricia. Then they gave up on him again. This is like a bad breakup somehow. And it's only his first year. I'm not saying that he should be fired. I'm just saying his seat is starting to get real hot already. I don't even know what the solution is for the Lions. I thought everything was going to be there, but they are in the middle of an identity crisis. When you trade Golden Tate and then acquire Snacks Harrison back-to-back days at the trade deadline, you have no idea what you're doing at this point. You don't know what team you are. Decide what you are as a team, what stage you are in as a team, and then get back to me, and I can maybe help you fix yourself. Good old Jameis ain't eating very many W's right now. And, well, Neither is Tampa. This team is bad. This team is way worse than their 5-10 record shows. How the fuck do you put up like 600 yards of offense in a game and score 3 points? That happened this year. Fucking embarrassing. They believed that Ryan Fitzpatrick was actually a thing. He got them to a 3-0 start. Congratulations, you've lost 10 out of your last 12. And yet, all signs are that the head coach is going to return. What the fuck? How can you look at what Dirk Cutter's done and actually think that that's worth bringing back? Great, your offense can put up points. Actually, most times they can't put up points. They can put up yards. They can't put up points. And their defense is one of historically the worst in the NFL. And he's still going to stay. And all signs are now pointing that Jameis is going to stay. And that Jason Light is somehow going to stay. Jesus Christ. End it. Just end this fucking saga of being fucking terrible. You haven't been relevant since Gruden coached you, and you appear to just be content with, being the next Cleveland Browns. Jesus, I need a drink. Leave it to the Giants to fuck up a perfectly good tank job. Seriously, weren't they in the running for the number 1 pick a month ago? And potentially adding a franchise quarterback, this draft is not that great, but maybe Justin Herbert would come out, to an offense that's already got Odell and Saquon, and now they're sitting at 5-10, and they're the 5th worst team in the conference. You're not getting a high draft pick with that. Jeez, you know what? At this point, I'm just convinced that the Giants are going to let Eli play as long as he wants. The quarterback's equivalent of Marvin Lewis. Do you remember when the Panthers were 6-2? Pepperidge Farm remembers. They're now 6-9. They've lost 7 straight games. They've lost to teams like the Lions, the Falcons. They're not even losing to good teams. Oh boy, I know Cam got hurt, but, this team quit during that Pittsburgh game. They just flat out quit. And they gave up on their season while still being 6-2. I don't even know what the fix is. Ron Rivera looks like he's going to be brought back. Do you fire the general manager? What the fuck? You've got 2 players on your offense in Cam and McCaffrey. Cam's hurt. McCaffrey's having to shoulder the load on his own. Everything else on your offense is trash. You're another team that hasn't invested in the offensive line in God knows how long. Your defense is starting to get low-key old because, Julius Peppers is 37. Charles Johnson is 33. Thomas Davis is 35. You've got fucking relics playing on defense. You haven't invested in the corner position, or at least highly in the corner position. Guys like Dante Jackson started off the year good and then fell apart. James Bradbury's mediocre. What the fuck are you doing, Carolina? You need to figure this out and fucking quick. Falcons fans, you can relate more than the Niners fans can on injuries. Jesus Christ, half your team went down in the first half of the season. I always thought it was kind of weird when people would mention that Dan Quinn was on the hot seat or should be fired, because literally when half of your team is hurt and on injured reserve, there's not a whole fucking lot you can do. You did the best you could. Calvin Ridley looks like a fucking star. Maybe fire Sarkisian and find a coach that can actually get the ball to Julio Jones for once. How do you go 1,000 yards before you get your first touchdown? What the actual fuck? Matt Ryan looks like he's playing okay. The offense is gelling. The defense, everyone was fucking hurt. Just hold tight. Maybe, again, bring in a new offensive coordinator and everything else should be fine. And the Falcons should be back in the playoff picture. Well, Aaron Rodgers has become a locker room cancer, apparently, getting everyone in his sight fired or cut. Started with Mike McCarthy, then Winston Moss said something, and Winston Moss found himself on the unemployment line very quickly afterwards. This looks like this could be a Josh McDaniels job. Hopefully Josh McDaniels doesn't pull a Josh McDaniels and pull it out at the last fucking minute. you've got some money, you've got some contracts that you can definitely get rid of too, like Clay Matthews. I mean, as I'm saying this, he's probably getting another bullshit unnecessary roughness call or roughing the passer call. But seriously, at what point is enough enough? And Clay Matthews, who really hasn't been that great over the past couple of seasons, is told to get to hit the bricks, and you can save yourself some money. And maybe with a general manager that actually feels like going out and making moves in free agency and making trades, something that Ted Thompson appeared to be allergic to, the Packers can very quickly rebuild this team and get back into the playoff picture like they've been for the last decade. How the Redskins finished 7-8 with how the Redskins have gotten to 7-8 despite the fact their entire offensive line is on injured reserve is actually quite impressive. Also, the fact that Alex Smith had a Joe Theismann injury, and then his replacement also broke his leg. Do not go to Washington if you're in free agency. There's something in the fucking water. That being said, you're going to need a quarterback. Colt McCoy was going to be the answer to begin with, and Alex Smith was a bridge quarterback who may never play again. You need a fucking quarterback. Call someone up, make a trade, draft a quarterback. You need something. This team is actually a lot better than most think. Jay Gruden may still get fired due to it, but still. You're cutting players on Christmas. DJ Swearinger, yes, that came out. What the fuck, Washington? You're this close to actually being a decent football team. Do not fuck this up. All you need is your incompetent front office to actually make some good moves for once, and you could very well be sneaking into the NFC playoff picture next year. But I have no faith in your front office.